We will now move on to our panel discussion, which we will limit to no more than 9 to 10 minutes. So, of course, we can't go very deeply into these issues and we'll barely be able to scratch the surface. But I wanted to ask this question from all of you. The videos we just saw, they reject division. They imagine a South Asia where trade, dialogue, and trust are non negotiable. But these are all aspirations, as was said in the videos as well. These are dreams. How do we shift these aspirations to action? What do you think about this? And please feel free to go ahead, whoever wants to comment.
If I may, Mohiba.
Sure.
Okay. I think the way I think we could do this, we just have to take a look at history and how movements have come about. And the principle is extremely simple. You meet other people, you try and organize yourselves, and you try and formulate a coherent program, and you try and work towards those goals together. It's extremely clear in human history that no individual has ever been able to do anything beyond a certain extent. So we have to get together, we have to formulate clear goals, and we have to continuously engage in internal criticism so that we can develop our programs much better.
Yes, absolutely. That's very right. We have to set those goals. We have to have that clarity. Basansa, what do you have to say?
Um, Yes, Mohit, we talk about great hopes and vision for South Asia's future, the challenge I think is always on how to turn those ideas into reality, into everyday cooperation. And I truly believe that the most effective way we can um, empower youth and turn all the aspirations into reality in South Asia is by working together. So, what can we do collaboratively? What I think is we can create a platform like South Asia Forum, a platform where we can have that regular space where young leaders from every country across South Asia can come together to exchange ideas, discuss challenges, and also design shared solutions. This forum I think would be a place for learning, place for innovation and unity, and also a corridor or a place that promotes education and innovation and not just limits itself to some annual events or just limit themselves to some events. So I think platform would like these would be really really helpful for turning the innovations into reality.
That's very, very true. I think that the focus on youth is very, very important. Do we have other panelists who would want to comment on this? Yes, Bipasha, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. See, all these my fellow panelists already say many ways for aspiration to action, but I want to ask some basic questions. So we see the problem is we are making borders and we are dividing and we are ruling. So if we see our history, our colonizer, they made this thing divide and rule, and after we are liberated from those colonializer, we're still doing the same. So what is actually giving us this barrier? It is in our mind, it is in our nation's deep rooted thing that in the name of politics, in the name of religion, we are segregating and segregating and segregating. These young people, they are asking the question that why we are separated. So something in their mind they are questioning, and this is the thing, this is the education we are talking that we need to change. We have to ask the question why we are separated, where is the problem. Is this all the country's policy? Is this all the nation's security and everything? Is it really? So we have to ask this question. These young people, this 60% young people, education is must. Not only the STEM education, technology. Yes, these things are important, but you have to be mindly broad, open. Need to know what is the political perspective behind this thing. Are we colonialized by this North nation? They are imposing this thing, and we are just divided. We have to rethink this thing. We have to ask this question. We need to think how to make this thing happen. Like our my fellow panelists already say these platforms are good. We have to ask this question that how we can manage all these people together. Like these South Asian people, they say we need South Asian cooperation. How? How we can do that cooperation? We can cooperation through this platform, but this platform, this is the beginning. But we have to think beyond this thing in national level, in more than South Asian level. So another thing I think we have to rethink that are we able to speak properly? Like we are in our South Asian space, we are saying there is democracy. Actually, are we having democracy? Is this the true democracy we are having? We need to remap this democracy, renegotiate with this democracy. We need to speak. Let's speak the voice of people, the voice of these young people, not only young people, every South Asian people that should be heard by the higher level official, the politicians, and everybody. We are the nation. We are South Asia. We are asking to be together. So what is holding us back? So I think it should be come from uh, very unit form of position, like from family to upper position, like from the state level. So otherwise, we cannot make our South Asia together. That's my point of view.
Thank you, Bipasha. I think that that was really great that you grounded us in history, that we need to revisit our history, need to understand that, need to go to the basics. And so that's very, very important. Selab or Dharshika, do you have anything to add to this? How do we change our aspirations to a reality? Yes, Dharshika, you can go first, and then Selab, I will come to you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm greatly agreed with my fellow panelists that about shared goals and strong unity and educating ourselves and well. So for these things, as I already said, we have to start it from the scratch rather than focusing national level or international level or South Asian level. We have to start it from the scratch, from the grassroots level. We have to find the issues and real struggles from the grassroots level, and we have to get more solution for that to be a better place to start anything. So it in that way we can access for the greater international mechanisms like UN, ICCPR, ICHR, such things. Mainly the youth who are working with civil society organizations or non-governmental organization, they can clearly access those mechanisms to get a betterment for our community or for our country's betterment. So it is another thought from myself. And also, I greatly love to focus on educating the youth, like from the marginalized communities. They don't have greater access to the education or for an open mind, like that things. So the youths who are well educated, who are focused to have such betterments, we have to educate those youths or those children from the marginalized community about the broader area of world of South Asia, how we can access for those UN mechanisms or EU mechanisms, how
Hey,
can we
Darshika,
fight for our rights, how can
cut you
we.
off. Sorry. Sorry, I was extremely
Yes.
sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
we are just like a little bit low on time, so I just wanted to hear quickly from Selab, and then we can move to the conclusion of our program. Very sorry to cut you off. I hope
Yeah.
that we can continue this discussion, and this is not the only way that we're going to be connected. So, Selab, if you could share your brief comment, please, and then we can move on. Thank you, Darshika.
Yeah, thank you. And as all of the panelists said their thoughts uh, about the question that how to shift our the aspiration to action, I think the keys to shift from the aspirations to action is building practical, shared commitments somehow across the borders. First, we must turn dialogues into the joint projects, whether in trade, climate actions, or education. So cooperation become a habit, not an expectation. So, trust grows when people meet and work together. So we need more youth exchanges. So across borders, business partnership and culture programs. Uh, Also, we must hold our somehow governments accountable for the policies, remove barriers to movement trades and communications. In short, so we can tell you that start small and act together and keep momentum because every successful collaboration make the vision of United South Asia more and more real.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Salah. Thank you so much for your remarks. And I think that it was a good discussion. Of course, like we barely just started it. We would want to have longer discussions and we would want to go on and actually discuss even more issues and solutions to those issues that have been raised in the videos and in the conversation that we've had throughout this program. But alas, we do not have enough time for the program today. So I am going to be moving forward with a very important introduction. There has been a very important guest with us throughout the program, and she has been listening to us, and she is, hearing everything very intently. So I'm going to introduce to all of you Lalita Ramdas ji. Lalita Ramdas has been the chairperson of Greenpeace International and Greenpeace India. Her commitment and passions range across all issues critical to society, especially peace, a nuclear free South Asia, India Pakistan relations, education, environment, and women's empowerment. She is the partner of Admiral Ramdas Saab, former chief of Indian Navy and one of the Doyens we are celebrating today. We now request her for a message to youth of South Asia about their vision. Sorry, Lalita ji, your mic is
Yeah,
muted.
beg your pardon. See, this is what comes of being the oldest in years and the youngest, maybe, in my thinking, but I forget to do things like switching on the right buttons. Anyway, what can I say? This has been, I just feel that I need to rejoice at 85 that the youth across South Asia are claiming their right to be at the table and to step up. This is potentially a powerhouse, a tsunami, but as with any tsunami, we need to be prepared. We need to understand that it's a long road and it's going to be tough. I've scrapped the note that I had prepared because between you, you have summed up beautifully what main solutions, problems, and so on that have come through, not just these 16, but the 200 video submissions that they have received over these last several weeks. And I think for me, the important point that is being made is that we, yes, need to revise, revitalize, and energize SARC. Yes, we don't want war, we want no to hate, we want love, we want peace. But there is vested interests at every level. Please let's be very realistic and clear. As much as this has been energizing, it's sort of raised all the most wonderful emotional sentiments within us. But if we are seriously planning to make this something that we want to take forward, take seriously, it should not remain, as each one has said, at the level of something like this. I think it's up to us to meet very quickly and plan what should be the next steps that we need to take, which will seriously address, our intentions and our hopes and our dreams. The list you've made out is breathtaking and comprehensive. I think those Doyens up there who we are celebrating, wherever peacemakers, peacemongers, change makers meet, must be happy. I think we also need to hear and take to decision makers. We want a pledge from them that we need more platforms and avenues for active participation of youth in framing the programs and the policies from the local to the national to regional and global. Is this possible? A young woman from Afghanistan in the first video that I saw says, yes, we can. And she throws out a challenge and she points her finger and says, can you? That is the question that we need to be prepared for. I believe it is possible. And as we proudly release this wonderful vision document from South Asian youth, I say that it is time to pass the baton. I understand it's very interesting, isn't it? We've all complained about colonization, and yet we are conversing and communicating and dialoguing in the language of the colonizer. And I think that that is something, again, the word baton, I guess, has come from the French. So, I mean, for me, it is enriching. We need to fight the forces which tell us stick to one homogeneous language, culture, religion, and so on. That is our real enemy. I believe it's time for us to pass on the baton. I'm symbolically trying to do that with this vision document. I'm passing on, and this is a plea to everybody. Please join me and make sure that we pass on the batons to the young people who are waiting, and that wait should not be there 10, 20 years later, it should be now. That is what our demand and plea ought to be. But thank you very much. This has been absolutely exhilarating, exciting. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.